It's Valentine's Day. Hello and welcome to PDubTV. I mean PDubTV.
We have a whole series of events lined up for you. The first one is brought to you by Natalie, who's out in the field.
Well, actually she's not actually in the field, but we're surrounded by cornfields.
That's what I meant.
I got a chance to interview a few of the Plank members about Plank.
Plank is basically like a peer mentoring group at our school. It's not an acronym, but it's a symbol for like a bridge or a shelf. We just want to be there for people, help hold people up, or be a friend to somebody in need. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what kind of characteristics you have as long as you're like open to talking to people. You just want to be compassionate and be a trustworthy person, but otherwise anybody can join Plank.
Students can meet with Plank members after school on Thursdays. We stay till whatever time the students want to stay till. And we do homework out, team building activities, just hanging out. Sometimes we play the Wii in the library. So it's always in the library Thursdays after school.
Thank you, Natalie, for the interesting segment about Plank.
And if you're interested in learning more about Plank or contacting a Plank member, just go to the PW website and you can just follow the link we have there.
Now time for a commercial break.
Brought to you by Shankshpa Cinemas.
So you're still...
Are you okay?
Wow, that movie looks so good. Did you see those actresses?
I know, they're hotties.
Oh yeah. Anyways, we're gonna head over to Gabby and see what she found out about the local business Kate's Cards.
I had the opportunity to sit down with Catherine of our local business, Kate's Cards.
I didn't officially start Kate's Cards until last year on Christmas time when I got my cricket for Christmas. But I did start making cards freshman year going to volleyball for Volley Buddies. First, I start off by finding an idea, usually off Pinterest or Cricut Design Space, and if it requires something being cut out, I go in Cricut Design Space and lay it all out and then I have it cut out. Otherwise, I just hand paint it or I write on it. And sometimes I even use calligraphy. The misconceptions people often have about Kate's Cards is that we only make cards, when we also do some calligraphy, make boxes for different goodies, vinyl for different objects like this cup. I also sew to make some headbands. I used to make some wreaths. And I make some signs. My cards retail for about $1 and the envelopes are also 50 cents.
I've really been needing to buy some cards.
Yeah, you should go to Kate's Cards for all your cardery needs.
Yeah.
And for our last segment, we go to the adventures of Sophie and Catherine.
Did you know that Canada sells s'mores Ritz Bits? Catherine and I were able to travel the world this past summer, and I'm going to talk to Catherine about how she felt about our trip to Canada.
My favorite part was going to Niagara Falls, and especially at night seeing them lit up, and we got a ride made in the mist, so we got up close to the falls. I would go back to Canada, but I wouldn't go back to like the city. I'd go back to the country and stay away from all the big cities. The culture there is a lot different from PW. There's a lot more variety in people, and it was interesting to see how they all interact differently. I really did enjoy that trip to Canada. Another adventure me and Sophie had was to France, and I got the chance to interview her about France.
My favorite part of France was probably staying with my aunt and uncle. They've lived there for like 10 years now, so they let us stay with them. And I just like bonding with them, but also being able to embrace the French culture and see how different it is from America. I highly recommend going to France. I think that it's very peaceful, it's really quiet. I was in the country part of France, and I honestly would recommend that probably over the city, because the city is really busy and you can't really take the time to embrace like what's around you and really get to know yourself and what you like about the country that you're in. I spent the time with my aunt and uncle, like I said before, but also we went and we visited a lot of like different areas that France is like famous for. We went up Mount Ventoux, which is 7,500 feet up in the air, so that was really cool. That's where they do the Tour de France with the bikes. And we just saw a lot of different areas that my aunt and uncle live in and travel to on their daily lives. We enjoyed our adventures around the world. Here are some photoshopped photos of some places we want to go in the future.
I really love traveling the world. I'd say my favorite one was definitely France.
Mine was definitely Canada.
Fair enough. Well, that's all for us. Thanks for tuning in.